I don't book my Airbnbs anymore. Jack handles the logistics of it because I got fired from that job. I did. So we started making automotive content about 2 years ago, and last year was our first year even hearing about Monterey Car Week. So everybody was telling us, you have to go, you have to go. And we were honestly apprehensive because we would have had to fly all the way to California from New York, figure out a hotel, figure out a rental car, and it just seemed like a lot of logistics. We didn't know how insane Monterey Car Week was gonna be. Thankfully, after convincing from Ryan Friedman, he had told us that we have to go if we wanna do anything with this social media platform that we have. And we decided to go, we pulled the trigger. We got the cheapest flight we could, the cheapest Airbnb we could. When we pulled up to the Airbnb, which I say cheap because it was $350 a night as opposed to $700 a night at a Red Roof, but at this time we're expensing all of this on our personal dime and from our 9 to 5. So we get to this Airbnb, this elderly lady opens the door for us, makes us take our shoes off, which I've never heard of when you're renting what I thought was renting a house. And she walks us over to this very small bedroom with one bed, a very small bathroom in that bedroom, and we were pretty much confined to that bedroom. Thankfully, we didn't spend a lot of time there because it was so bad that we considered getting a Red Roof and spending the $700 a night on top of the fact that the Airbnb was non-refundable. And we didn't have the money for an operation like that, so we ended up just staying in the Airbnb. And I'm a tough sleeper. I'm snoring. I'm moving all around. It's not good. And yeah, we did have to share a bed. It was not a great situation, but it's a good memory. It's a very good memory. I don't book my Airbnbs anymore. Jack handles the logistics of it because I got fired from that job. We rented a very inexpensive Volkswagen Golf SE, I believe it was. And here we were in Monterey, and when we got there, we were just excited to be there, but we were starving. So we went to In-N-Out Burger to grab a bite, and the second we get to In-N-Out Burger, a full carbon Koenigsegg Agera HH pulls up, the Hamilton Collection pulls up with his 918 Spider, Pagani Huayra. It was a Cars and Coffee at this fast food restaurant, and we had just gotten there to grab a bite. So we were shell-shocked when we got there, and we were like, thank God Ryan told us that we had to go to Monterey Car Week. But the most interesting part about the whole trip is you go to Monterey Car Week for the events, to go to the Inn at Spanish Bay, to go to Pebble Beach, to go to all the concourse events that are showcasing these new and upcoming cars. The Inn at Spanish Bay, I mean, that's another one that they have like guards at the front, and you're not supposed to go unless you have a ticket or a pass or you're staying at the Inn at Spanish Bay. So we drove up in our little Volkswagen Golf, and we said to the guy, yeah, we're just picking up a guest at the hotel. And that worked like a charm because they opened the gate right up, and we were able to just park the car in the lot. And there is where we saw 5 Bugatti Chiron Super Sports. There's a 918 there, I believe, but even just the regular guest parking lot, I mean, Aventador SVs, 812s, just cars that, I mean, some cars that we wouldn't even see at Cars and Coffee that are just here valet parked at a hotel. And I mean, it was endless. We planned it with a week's notice, and we had no idea what media passes were. So we get to Monterey with no plans, a Volkswagen Golf, and a very cheap Airbnb. So we're just running around trying to text people who are there who have a little bit more insight on what's going on. We find out where these events are, but they're very closed off because they're concourse events and people pay good money to go to them. So what we did, which benefited us greatly, is waiting outside of the concourse events where all of the carrier trucks to transport these cars were. And we just got the content when they were loading them back on the trucks. And we did that at basically every single one of those concourse events. And there are more supercars than regular traffic. It's almost like the city gets rented out for a supercar event. I mean, it basically does, because every hotel is booked up for that purpose. And all of the restaurants and street corners are just they're littered with supercars. I mean, everywhere you look. And it's top of the line. There's Apollos everywhere. It's McLaren P1s, Bugatti Chirons, everything that you can imagine. And we do car spotting on the street. So it was like a gold mine for us. And I think with having tickets to no concourse event, no event at all, we ended up getting like 14 or so videos because it just worked out perfectly. And there wasn't anywhere we could look that there weren't incredible cars in front of us. So we couldn't go to Monterey for the entire week because Jack and I both work full-time jobs. So it was kind of like a leave work on Friday and get to the airport to spend the weekend and then be back to work on Monday. I believe we actually did take the Monday off. I want to say we generated in the ballpark of like 5 to 10 million views, and we were just starting out. So like this was really our big break moment, and the moment we realized that we're never gonna miss Monterey Car Week again, because it was fantastic for the channel, but it was just a fantastic experience it was my first time in California. So to just see California and along the coast and seeing these incredible cars, that was the coolest experience of my life. And Monterey to this day is my favorite place I've ever been. I keep saying I'm like Hannah Montana, but Clark Kent's probably a better example because Clark Kent 9 to 5 and then Superman on the weekends. I keep saying Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana, which is just a horrible reference for me. So my 9 to 5 is just insurance work, and it's clerical and it's desk stuff, and it's very run of the mill. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I'm at Cars and Coffee and people are coming up to me asking for pictures, and I'm wearing a nice outfit. And sometimes I'm in, an open top supercar with 800 horsepower. And then Sunday night rolls around, Monday morning comes, and it's like, thank you for calling State Farm, Chris speaking. And so it really is like the switch flips, and it flips with my personality too, honestly, because I'm very just regular Chris 9 to 5, and to the other person on the other side of the phone, I'm just Chris the insurance guy. And then again, when the weekend rolls around, Chris and Cars, can I get a picture with you? And like it's the most insane thing. And half of the time I'm telling them, I'm like, Monday through Friday, I work in insurance, and I'm pretty boring outside of this life, but it's changed my life. So it's been the coolest experience.
When you get a ticket, it might look something like this, but the first thing that you need to do is take a picture of that ticket and send it to 305-305. That will get the ticket clinic on your case immediately. They've got brick and mortar offices in Georgia, Florida, and California, but they can help you find a ticket no matter where you get it in the United States by helping you find a local attorney that will do everything they can to help you avoid costly fines, insurance premium increases, points on your license, risk of suspension, even jail time. They've helped me out with this ticket and many others, and a lot of my friends as well. So check them out now at the link in the description below, or again, text your ticket to 305-305 to get the ticket clinic on your case. They are the perfect partner in your fight against any speeding ticket.